Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Tarps Off. I'm going to do the review for the March 7th NHL games. So 14 games on the docket. We're going to start with the Senators and the Kings. So in the first period, Dominic Kubalik opens up the scoring for the Senators at 7:33 from Jake Sanderson and Tim Stützle on the power play. Second period, at 13:24, Quinton Byfield scores for the Kings from Blake Lizotte and Vladislav Gavrikov. Kachuk will then score for the Senators to put them back on top at 13:39 from Pinto and Batherson. In the third period, 10:24, Dubois scores from Kopitar and Waugh. Overier? Hopefully that's right, I don't know. He scores 11:46 from Doughty and Kopitar to put them back on top. And then Batherson will tie it up at 15:37 from Martin Zub and Shane Pinto. Then in overtime, Fiala scores from Waugh at 2 minutes. The Kings take that one, 4-3 in overtime. If we are going a bit fast, my camera might die in the middle of this, but I'll try to fix that in editing. Moving on to the Islanders and the Sharks. Yep. In the first period, Noah Dobson scores from Pajot and Lee at 19 seconds. Romanov would then score at 18:31 from Horvat, former Canuck, and Brock Nelson. Second period, at 2:45, Bordelot scores from Eklund and Zetterlund on the power play. At 11:24, Horvat would score unassisted, former Canuck. At 11:49, Mike Hoffman would score from Giovanni Smith. McLean would score for the Islanders at 12:04, the second from Martin and Pelech. Barzal would then score at 14:21 from Brock Nelson. At 16:25, Aho would score from Bo Horvat, from Canuck, and Brock Nelson. And then in the third period at 8:08, Anders Lee would score one from Engvall and Pulock on the power play. So 3.9 for Horvat, good for him. Islanders take that one 7-2. Minnesota and Arizona. The first period, there's no scoring. Second period at 1:51, Kirill Kaprizov scores from Zuccarello and Faber on the power play. Third period, Keller scores at 1:21 from Hayden and Schmaltz on the power play. 1:28, Marco Glaconi scores from Liam O'Brien and Jack McBain. 2 minutes, Zach Bajosian scores from Hartman and Zuccarello. 17:16, Eriksson Ek scores from Zuccarello. At 18:48, Brock Faber would score from Eriksson Ek and Hartman into the empty net. And then Connor Dewar would score from Berdine and Beckman into the empty net at 19:33. So the Wild take that one 5-2 over Arizona. Buffalo and Nashville. In the first period, at 3:53, Philip Forsberg would score from Yossi and Nyquist on the power play. Byron would then score, first goal with his new team, at 4:23 from Rasmus Dahlin and Peyton Krebs. At 16:15, Evangelista would score from Mark Jankowski and Tommy Novak on the power play. Second period, there's no scoring. Third period at 1:49, Forsberg scores from Gustav Nyquist and Ryan O'Reilly. He would score again at 6:43 from Lozon and Nyquist. And then at 12:52, Owen Power would score from Bowen Byram to cap it off. Nashville takes that one 4-2. Alright, Montreal and Carolina. In the first period, Montreal scores at 5:53, Josh Waugh scoring from Alex Newhook. At 13:02, Brady Shea would score from Svechnikov and Natchez. Second period, at 19:35, Stefan Nosen would score from Jack Drury and Jalen Chatfield. He's a former Canuck as well. Third period, at 15:31, Brady Shea scores from Ben Pesce and Sebastian Aho. And then Svechnikov would score at 18:53, the third from Teravainen into the empty net. The Canes take that one 4-1 over the Habs. Maple Leafs and Bruins. In the first period, David Pastrnak scores from Jake DeBrusk and Brad Marchand on the power play at 5:37. At 4:16 of the second period, Trent Frederick would score unassisted. 7:56 of the second, Marner would score from Liljegren on the power play. At 17:16 of the second, Geekie would score from Shattenkirk and Zaka on the power play. Then Carlo scored 18:23 from Marchand and DeBrusk. Third period, there's no scoring. Boston takes a 4-1 and sweeps the season series, I believe. Yeah, I don't think they play again this year, but I could be wrong about that. Feel free to fact check me in the comments. Edmonton and Columbus. This one made me happy. In the first period, Matthew Olivier scores for the Blue Jackets at 6:20 from Sean Corelli and Justin Danforth. Nylander would score at 14:54 from Cole Sillinger to put them up 2-0. Varnkov will make it 3-0 unassisted at 5:15:21. Second period, Hyman scores from McDavid and Draisaitl at 1:11. Third period, Perry would score from Kane and Nurse on the power play at 12:08. And then in 1940, Roslovic would score on from Texier and Goodbranson for McConnell into the empty net to win it for Columbus 4-2, which helped the Canucks a little bit later. Anyways, Philadelphia and Florida. So in the first period, there's no scoring. Second period, Ryan Poehling scores at 10 minutes from Cam York and Travis Sanheim. Or 10 seconds, excuse me. At 7:12 of the second, Forsling would score from Ekblad and Lundell. Third period, Hathaway would score from Stahl and Cates at 19:38, and that's how it would stand. Philadelphia takes that one 2-1 over Florida. And then with their first loss in a while. St. Louis and New Jersey. So in the first period, Timo Meier scores at 13:24 from Hischier and Jack Hughes on the power play. At 16:04, Timo Meier would score again from Palat and John Marino. Second period, Brandon Saad would score at 9:03 from Brnovich and Scandella. Meier would complete the hat trick from Palat and Hischier at 16:40 the second. In the third period, Haller would score at 19:01 from Timo Meier into the empty net. The Devils take that one 4-1. Alright, Crosby versus Ovechkin, take 427 or something like that now. That's a joke. First period at 1:51, Tom Wilson scores from Lenston shorthanded. Second period, Ovi scores 30 seconds in from Strome and Carlson on the power play. Nick Jensen will score from McConnell at 13:16 from Lenston. Henry St-Pierre would score at 8:50 from Trevor Van Riemsdyk and Ovechkin. Hopefully I can say this right. Miro Shinichenko would score from Strome and Milano at 16:21. I think I did that right. Then the third period at 2:13, Sonny Milano would score from Lexiev and Strome. The Capitals took that one 6-0 over the Pens. Alright, Tampa Bay and Calgary. In the first period, Dryden Hunt scores at 11:40 from Sharangovich. Sherry would tie it up at 14:28 of the first from Nick Paul and Victor Hedman. The first goal for the Flames was at 11:40. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. Second period, at 6:11, Sharangovich would score from Huberdeau and Uyghur. At 8:34, Sharangovich would score again from Matt Coronado. At 2:25, Pelletier would score from Kuzmenko, former Canuck, and Hanley. Australia would score for the Tampa Bay Lightning at 12:29 from Stamkos and Kucherov. Third period, Coleman would score at 6:04 from Sharangovich and Huberdeau, so Sharangovich having a good night again. At 12:17, Mangiapane would score from the backline and Uyghur into the empty net. And then Eusimo would score for the Lightning at 14:35 from Sherry and Paul. The Flames hit that one 6-3, and I won their 6th in a row, I believe. So they're climbing up the standings, but are still frustratingly out of the playoff spot. And then my favorite game of the night, Vancouver versus Vegas. Cheering for Vancouver in this one. So in the first period, at 6:01, Quinn Hughes scores from Elias Pettersson and Brock Besser on the power play. At 6:56, Phil DiGiuseppe would score from Niels Höglander and Noah Juleson to put them up 2-0. Second period at 3:50, Michael Mario scores from Alex Pietrangelo and Nicholas Waugh. And then at 15:58, Connor Garland scores from Elias Lindholm to put the Canucks up 3-1. Third period, there's no scoring, so that's how the score would stay. Vancouver takes it 3-1 and sweeps the 3-game road trip before heading home for a 9-gamer. So that'll be fun. Go on one of those games. Try to watch as much as I can of the rest. So yeah, that's it for me today. So hit like if you liked it, subscribe if you liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Adios.